Shalom, Yasharallah. This your brother Dawud from GMS Tampa Bay 07, coming at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth and that rule well. And citation and much love for you. I can push this truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions. All right, jumping right into this here lesson, which is a part 2 to the video I just put up. All right. We're going to start here in the book of Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse, 45? 41. This is First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 41. It says, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. All right. So, like I did in the last video, was more or less the breakdown of our heritage, our customs, the things that we used to do back in the days, following after the law, statutes, and commandments. All right. So, like I said in the last video, I showed the whole historic downfall of that way of life, more or less to say. Now we're about to read about the bringing up of the modern day of life, of how, we were all pretty much raised here in Babylon, up under the Babylonian system. All right. So it says, Antiochus decided that everybody was going to leave their own laws and follow after him. All right. So all the heathen, decided they was going to partake in this one world religion. All right. Verse 43. Yea, many of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. All right. Now I'm going to jump down to verse 49. For what reason? All right. To the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. All right. And now we're going to read about them changing all the laws and all the ordinances. All right. So we're going to read the book of Ezekiel chapter 8 real quick. I'm going to start at verse 5. It says, then he said unto me, Son of man, lift up thy eyes now the way towards the north. So I lifted up my eyes the way towards the north, and behold, northward at the gate, the altar of this image of jealousy and entry. All right. And I can only imagine that altar, that image would be basically a statue of who is portrayed, Cesare Borgia being portrayed as Yahushua HaMashiach. All right. That damn Edomite statue. All right. Or him on a cross or some shit like that. Or these stained glass windows up in these Catholic churches. All right. But nevertheless, that image of jealousy, our people bowing down to that cross, our people bowing down to that Edomite and praying and worshiping him. All right. The Most High say, look, thou shalt not have any other gods before me. All right. Thou shalt not bow down to any other gods before me. Thou shalt not have any other gods before me, for thy God is a jealous God. All right. So you going into these places and bowing down before these images, and, just like majority of all us, Jake, right? We all grew up the same damn way. I know I can at least speak for myself. When I was growing up, with my grandma and shit, going to these harlot houses every damn day of the week, basically. You know what I'm saying? And then at the end of the night, when I got down on my knees, my grandma used to teach me how to pray, Get down on your knees and you pray, blah, blah, blah. She had all these pictures of Jesus, just Cesare Borgia, all these Edomite pictures off in her house, And in the bathroom, in the hallway, in the bedroom, in the living room. You got all these damn pictures of this damn blue-eyed, stringy-haired devil. You know what I'm saying? And when she taught me how to pray, get down on my knees and all this and that, pray to Jesus. You know what I'm saying? And in my mind, I'm envisioning praying to this white dude, And so that's that, like it says, this image of jealousy. All right. That's the image of jealousy. Instead of praying into the Most High and asking the Most High, for your blessings, you praying to an Edomite. All right. Instead of putting your trust and your hope onto the Most High, you putting your trust and your hope into this here Edomite. All right. Praying and hoping that he gonna hear your cries. All right. Verse 6, he said, furthermore unto me, son of man, seest thou what they do, even the great abomination that the house of Israel committeth here, that I should go far off from my sanctuary, but turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations. So basically, like he said, it says, do you see this great abomination that the house of Israel committeth here, that I should go far off from my sanctuary? They didn't basically, all right, so an analogy is you got a husband and a wife, right? You like, let's say you the wife, more or less to say, right? You the wife now, or you the husband, let's say. You the husband and you got this wife. Now, what would you say if you came home and your wife, not saying your wife sleeping with this dude, we ain't even gonna go that far, but let's just say you done came home to your house where your wife is at, and the locks is changed on the house. You know what I'm saying? There's a different car in the driveway. You walk inside the house, And she done took all the pictures, family pictures you done took with her and the kids or whatever, whatnot. She done cut all your picture, all your faces out of all the pictures and posted up Steve from down the street. Put his face in all the pictures. Now you see a bunch of pictures of Steve around your house. All right. And Steve car in your driveway. And now your wife, who you still legally married to, all right, is signing shit in Steve's last name, her first name, Steve's last name, and your kids is calling him daddy. All right, think about how mad you would be over some shit like that. You'd be like, wait a minute, why my kids calling this other guy daddy? You know what I'm saying? And why is my wife, you know what I'm saying, changing her last name onto his last name as if she belonged to him? And why is homeboy's pictures and shit all up in my house like as if this is his house? All right, that's basically like the Most High saying, like, yo, bro, what are y'all doing? I'm y'all God. I'm y'all power. Y'all over here worshiping this. First of all, y'all worshiping stone and shit like that, wood and stone, but you know what I'm saying? More or less, you worshiping a depiction of a goddamn Edomite, the damn devil, on top of all things. All right. Verse 7. And he brought me to the door of the court, and when I looked, behold, a hole in the wall. Then said he unto me, Son of man, dig now in the wall. And when I had digged in the wall, behold, a door. And he said unto me, Go in and behold the wicked abominations they do here. So I went in and saw, and behold, every form of creeping things and abominable beast. Okay, speaking about the niggas that's in these churches, all right? It's like saying, like, how Jake talked, man, these goddamn cockroaches, these pieces of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you talking with heavy disdain upon, somebody or something like that, that's how you would talk, It says, and so I went in and saw, and behold, every form of creeping thing and abominable beast, and all the idols of the house of Israel portrayed upon the walls round about. All right, and who are all the idols and shit that the children of Israel worship? All right, okay, so in the tribe of Judah mainly, we will be worshiping Cesare Borgia. All right, that so-called that Edomite, the so-called painting and picture that you see that's posted up as Yahushua. All right, that's who Judah predominantly worships. But with the northern kingdom and shit, they be worshiping how they say the Virgin Mary and all the how do you say basically like the men of the Lord, more or less to say all the saints. You know what I'm saying? They go into all kind of shit like that, and they put up these images and stuff like that. So you go into a so-called black church, or like I was just explaining about my grandma's house. If we was talking about if verse 10 was talking about an actual house, somebody's house that they live in instead of a church, more or less to say, all right, that would be like in my grandma's house, like I was just saying, And nowadays it's even worse in her house. You go inside her house, there's a bunch of fucking idols all over her house, and she's a really so-called religious woman, Like that would be like one of the most righteous people I know on the planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? Like in her wickedness, she be fighting against the church because she's like, that ain't quite right. But nevertheless, you know what I'm saying? She blinded by the light, But, you know what I mean? Inside her house is filled with nothing but portraits of idols, She got goddamn that nigga Martin Luther King in there, Barack Obama in there. All right. At least they resemble her in so-called her hue. One of them, at least from her, I don't know what the hell Martin Luther King really was, but I would think that he's a Judite. But you know what I'm saying? At least they, resemble her from an outside appearance, But on top of that, she's got pictures and pictures and pictures, images all over her damn house of Cesare Borgia. In the bathroom, the bedroom, the hallway, the kitchen, the living room, all over the damn house, Cesare Borgia. All right? So just like your damn house is, the same way your churches are. You go into the Catholic churches, big stained glass windows with all the saints, the statues of the saints all over the place, you know what I'm saying? And you had that big ass cross with Cesare Borgia nailed to it and stuff like that. And they go up inside these damn harlot houses, and that's all you see. All right? Verse 11, and there stood before them 70 men of the ancient house of Israel. In the midst of them stood Jezaniah the son of Shaphan, and with every man his censer in his hand, and a thick cloud of incense went up. Salakia. And now, when you go to those Catholic churches, they doing their little rituals and shit like that. You see them walking around with that thing that look like a lantern. And it's got the little smoke coming out of that. That's what Ezekiel is seeing here. All right. Verse 12. Then he said unto me, Son of man, hast thou seen what the ancient of the house of Israel do in the dark? Every man in the chambers of his imagery. For they say, Yahweh seeth us not, Yahweh forsaketh the earth. So basically, these damn Creflo Dollars and TD Jakes and so on and so forth is fleecing the flock. And they act like the Most High don't see them. Yeah, we doing the money dance over some money. The Lord wants you to drop this here money on it. You threw some money up here, the Lord gonna bless it. You know, that type of bullshit. Then he said unto me, then said also unto me, turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations that they do. Then he brought me to the door of the gate of Yahweh's house, which was towards the north, and behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz. You go into Tammuz. Tammuz was a deity basically worshipped back in the olden days, you know, as far back as Babylon, because he was the son of Semiramis and Nimrod, all right? And long story short, you know, you still worship all of the damn things that was going on back then and that time when Nimrod was ruling, all right? Your Easter, all that shit, when you go really dig deep into all that, it all goes back to like the original Babel, all right, with Nimrod and shit, you know? But it goes back to all these different things. But nevertheless, these people were set up, all right, whereas Nimrod was more or less to be like the god of gods, all right? And his son, who will his son be? The so-called son of God, all right? And it's kind of ironic how they have the same imagery, like how you see the picture of the Virgin Mary and the baby, so-called baby Christ. All right, they had that same imagery going back as far as Egypt, and then also with Babel with Nimrod and them. You had Nimrod, Semiramis, or Semiramis actually holding Tammuz as a baby, the same pose, same posture. Which fast forward today, you see so-called Virgin Mary with the so-called baby Jesus. All right. So that's to give you the understanding of Tammuz. And when you go in these so-called Negro churches and stuff, who's all these nigga women over there hooting and hollering and catching this demonic ass spirit on their ass, running through the churches and passing out all over? They act like they had a goddamn Michael Jackson or a Prince concert, passing out and fainting all over this nigga like that. And this is an Edomite. The same type of Edomite who destroyed your family, your household, your kids, your husband, the reason why you a single woman, don't no man want you. The same reason you over here crying and weeping for this nigga. This is the same deity that you worshiping, basically, for like the most part, you know. It says, verse 15, then said unto me, hast thou seen this, O son of man? Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations than this. And he brought me into the inner court of the Lord's house. Behold, at the door of the temple of Yahweh, between the porch and the altar, there were 25 men with their backs towards the temple of Yahweh and their faces towards the east, and they worship the sun towards the east. All right, going into that sun worship, when you go into the higher ups of Catholicism, all right, because if you all understand about what you would think of as who they call the Pope, all right, he's like on a low level. They have somebody way higher than him that's called the Black Pope. And then under the Black Pope, you have a whole chain of command that's still up and over the White Pope, all right? Now, the White and Black Pope ain't talking about a skin color. This is just more or less their different sex and the garments that they wear. The White Pope is wearing, obviously, white. The Black Pope is wearing black, all right? These are Jesuits, all right? Now, when you go into the Jesuit order and all that stuff, you know, or when you see that any Catholicism imagery or whatever where you see basically Cesare Borgia on that cross, and they had that little plaque over top of the cross that says IHS, okay? Which can also go back to Isis, Horus, and Set. But it's still going right back onto Nimrod, Tammuz, and Semiramis, all right? And the sun worship, all right? All these things are all the same thing. It's just a different cloak over top of it, a different mask over top of it all right? And so that's what you're looking at when you see, you know, the Catholicism or the Catholics and the way higher up levels than that. You'll start seeing that little sun worship. Just look at the official, like, I believe it's the Vatican seal or anything like that with any of that higher up stuff. You'll see that IHS, and you'll see a sun around it, all right? That's what they talking about here, where they said let me see, it says, with their backs towards the temple of Yahweh and their faces towards the east, they worship the sun, S-U-N, towards the east. Okay, verse 17, then he said unto me, hast thou seen this, O son of man? Is it a light thing, the house of Judah, that they commit the abomination which they commit? For they have filled the land with violence and returned to provoke me to anger, for they put the branch to their nose. Therefore will I also deal in fury, and my eyes shall not spare, neither will I have pity, and though they cry in my ears with a loud voice, yet will I not hear them. All right. So the Most High is basically saying, look, because y'all want to serve these idols and these vessels of abominations, look, I'm gonna just hey, y'all want to worship them as y'all gods? Fuck it, I ain't gonna be a god no more. You know, I'm gonna turn my back from you. You know, basically, I'm gonna stop helping you out and see what your latter end is gonna be. All right. Let me get to. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 44. I think it's 15. Yeah, this is. Yep, Jeremiah 44 and 15. Then all the men which knew that their wives had burned incense unto other gods. All right. Now it's kind of ironic that they talking about this in this way. All right. Back in those days, the women weren't really going to the places of worship like that to so-called learn and stuff like that. It would be the men. All right. Just like the scriptures say, if any woman want to learn anything, let her learn from her husband. You know, it says, then all the men which knew that their wives had burned incense to other gods. Yeah. And, you know, modern day today, you know, a lot of so-called married couples, if they happen to go to church, you know, the wife will go to church, but the husband won't go to church, or he'll go to his own church or something different than what the wife is going to. All right. And I always wonder why and how that was. But how y'all gonna be married? Y'all don't even go to the same church. I don't even believe in the same shit, or he don't even go to church. All right. But now I understand that these men, a lot of these men are actually way more sane to realize that there's some bullshit over in there, you know. But these women want to go over there for this sweet word to be, you know, told everything is gonna be all right, more or less to say. All right. But it says, and then all the men which knew that their wives had burned incense unto other gods, and all the women that stood by, a great multitude, even all the people that dwell in the land of Egypt, Pathros answered Jeremiah, saying, as for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of Yahweh, we will not hearken unto thee. But we will certainly do whatsoever thing is goeth forth out of our own mouth, to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, as we've done, we and our fathers, our kings, our princes, in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. For then had we plenty of victuals, and were well, and saw no evil. All right. So this is something that they perceive like, yo, man, we're gonna keep doing, we're gonna do what we want to do. You know, we go to church, we get, like they say today, man, we go to church, we get blessed. Now I gotta go to church and pay my tithes. The Lord then bless me. You know, you hear how these Christians talk and stuff like that, you know. It says, verse 18, but since we left off to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven and to pour out drink offering to her, we have wanted all things and have been consumed by the sword and by famine. All right. So basically, you know, they starting to realize, but wait a minute, after we started worshiping these damn heathens, gods and shit like that, bad stuff started happening unto us, you know, like crazy shit started popping off. And then it says, verse 19, and when we had burnt incense to the Queen of Heaven and poured out drink offerings unto her, did we make her cakes to worship her and pour out drink offerings to her without our men? All right. And so basically they had everybody involved in that, just like today. You know, your first birthday, your second birthday, your third birthday, so on and so forth. What was going on? Your mama baked a cake or bought a cake, put candles on there, you made a wish and blew them out. All right. But, you know, who you wishing upon? Where does that ritual even come from? All right. That go way back to goddamn Semiramis and Nimrod and them. All right. But this is what they talking about. You needing these cakes to the Queen of Heaven, or basically you just following after all these other abominations and all these other abominable things, these other, I would say abominable religions, but you know, a lot of them aren't even cloaked in so-called religions. All right. But the same practices being followed to this very day. It says, and when we had burnt incense to the Queen of Heaven and poured out drink offerings to her, did we make her cakes and worship her and pour out drink offering unto her without our men? Then Jeremiah said unto all the men and to the women and to all the people which had given him that answer, saying, the incense that you burn in the cities of Judah and the streets of Jerusalem, you and your fathers and your kings and your princes and the people of the land, did not Yahweh remember them, and came it not into his mind that Yahweh could no longer bear because the evil of your doing and because of the abominations which you have committed? Therefore is your land a desolation and an astonishment and a curse without an inhabitants as at this day. So the Most High saying, look, bro, all your shit's all fucked up now because you didn't want to follow my laws, statutes, commandments. You wanted to worship after these heathen. All right, now that's why you live in the hoods, the projects, and all these curses falling upon you. Verse 23, because you have burned incense and because you have sinned against Yahweh and have not obeyed the voice of Yahweh, nor walked in his laws, nor in his statutes, nor in his testimonies, therefore This evil has happened unto you as of this day. Verse 24, moreover, Jeremiah said unto all the people and to all the women, hear the word of Yahweh, all Judah and all the land of Egypt. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the power of Israel, saying, ye and your wives have both spoken with your mouths, fulfilled with your hands, saying, we will surely perform our vows that we vowed, and to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out the drink offering unto her. Ye shall surely accomplish your vows, and surely perform your vows. Therefore hear the word of Yahweh, all Judah that dwell in the land of Egypt. Behold, I have sworn by my great name, saith Yahweh, that my name shall no more be named in the mouth of any man of Judah and in the land of Egypt, saying, Yahweh liveth. Behold, I will watch over them for evil and not for good, and all of the men of Judah that are in the land of Egypt shall be consumed by the sword and by famine until there be an end of them. So basically, the Most High saying, look, because y'all want to go off and keep doing this wicked, abominable shit, hey, I'm basically about to bring destruction on you, all right? I think, because the scripture's about to say this way better than I can. Deuteronomy, was it 15 or 14? It might be Deuteronomy 14. Or not 28, Salakia. Deuteronomy 32 and 14. Or actually, I'll start at 16. Speaking about the children of Israel, all right, it says, they provoked him to jealousy with strange gods. With abominations provoked they him to anger. So what strange gods? Tammuz, the Queen of Heaven, all your other abominable religions that you got going on, bowing down to Cesare Borgia, these Edomites, all right? Verse 17, they sacrifice unto devils, not unto Yahweh, to gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not. All right. Says, of the rock that begot thee, thou art unmindful and hast forgotten the power that formed thee. And when Yahweh saw it, it abhorred him because of the provoking of his sons and his daughters. And he said, I will hide my face from them and see what their end shall be. For they are a very forward generation, children in whom there is no faith. All right. One more. Verse 21, they have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities. I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. So yeah, see these calamities and all these hard times coming down on our people because we choose to keep following after these Edomites and after their religious bullshit, you know? Just like in the time of Black Lives Matter, so-called Black Lives Matter, where it should have been plain and obvious how these Edomites feel about you, Jake. All right, that Jake's still going to damn church. All right, then little old Edomite Dylan Roof walk up in there and blow everybody to smithereens before anybody can even be put in the ground or the police can come and investigate. You got these same simple ass Jake crying and forgiving the damn Edomite. All right, for being exactly who he is, you know. And you don't even realize, like, where was your God inside that damn church to protect you? All right, he wasn't trying to protect you. He gonna watch over you for evil because you're doing that abominable bullshit. All right. Yeah, I got one more precept I can pull out. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 13. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Hamashiach. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Therefore, it is no great thing that if his ministers also being transformed as ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their work. All right, so it ain't no big deal that the devil then transformed himself into an angel of light and his ministers also. All right, so it's not no strange thing that you would find the damn devil in all these damn churches. It's not a strange thing that the person you would think is the Lord's son is actually the damn devil. All right, it's not a strange thing that these people you walk around thinking is holier than thou are actually the damn Edomites and the damn devils that the damn scriptures the scriptures talk about. All right, and that these churches and these religions and all this bullshit is all A, made up, and B, it's just bullshit, you know? Not taking anything away from the Bible, but because like the Bible's clearly telling you about all these things, but it's just the stories that surrounding all these different things. All right. But nevertheless, Lord willing, that the lesson was edifying. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that taught me this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you. I can push this truth, sincerity in the four corners of the earth. Stay strong. Shalom.